Er9x Lesson 4. In Lesson 4 we will learn how we can use a simple flight modes with using of flaps. Flaps are on a separate channel, but flaps will be only flaps without any ailerons function. Only flaps. Our channels: aileron, aileron and flaps. Aileron 1, channel 1, elevator channel 2, motor channel 3, rudder channel 4, aileron channel 5, next flap. One flap channel 5, next flap channel 6, and next aileron channel 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For this learn you must know previous lessons. Yeah? We will start with copying and editing model memory position from previous lesson. We can copy model L03 and rename this model for mode L04. From this model we will delete some mixes from previous lesson and we will edit some next mixes. What we want delete? We will delete on channel 1 mix 3, 4 and 5. Select this mix and with exit you can delete it. Select, delete, select, delete. You can see stay mix with aileron functions -70 and -55%. On channel 2 elevator, this mix 100% elevator. Stay, but next mixes we can delete. Channel 3, channel 4, okay. On channel 6 again we first two mixes okay, but mix 3, 4 and 5 delete. Okay, in next step we can increase range of ailerons move range from -70% on -100%. And from -55 25 on 70. I must look on my notes. Yes, -70. -70. And the same on next aileron on channel 6 from 25 on -70, and from -70 on -100. Yeah? but we know next aileron is in this lesson on channel 7, not on channel 6. Of course, we must move these two mixes from channel 6 on channel 7. Select and select and move on channel 7. For moving, you must select it, go up and down on new channel. Okay, what's next? Now we have, I must connect our model. Now we have standard 4-channel model. Ailerons, elevator, rudder and motor, throttle. We will use 3 flight modes. These flight modes will be controlled by this 3-position switch. But all mixes in flight modes will be switched on only if will be switch on this switch. This will be our master switch. Master switch for all mixes in flight modes. Every time during flight, if my mixes are, because some mixes are very complicated, maybe I want switch off all mixes and go back on a simple 4-channel airplane. If I want simple 4-channel airplane during flight, simply I can switch off my master switch and all complicated mixes are off, and I can fly safely with simple model without any sophisticated mixes. Okay, this switch will be our master switch for all next mixes in flight modes. This means if our flight mode start, fly and landing will be controlled with this 3-position switch, we must create 3 basic software switches. Software switch 1 will be on if will be on our master switch, and 3-position switch will be in this position, position start. Software switch 2, master switch on, 3-position switch in this position, and master switch software switch 3, master switch and 3-position switch in this position. Go, we can create it. We have some custom switches, software switches from previous lesson. We can edit it. And it's okay. Okay, software switch 1 will be on if will be on. Throttle, this is our master switch, and ID 0. This is top position of 3-position switch. Software switch 2 will be on if will be on again. Throttle, our master switch, and 3-position switch will be on position ID 1, this position. And software switch 3 will be on if will be on again. Throttle, our master switch, and 3-position switch will be on position ID 2, this position. Okay. There are 3 basic software switches, because we will program next software switches. These 3 software switches are our basic software switches. Okay. Our first step on first mix on flight mode start will be any movement, any position of flaps. We know our one flaps is on channel 5. Okay, on channel 5 source max, white maybe 30%, and switch. Oh, I can see not 30 but minus 30%. Minus 30%, see? But switch. I can use switch software switch 1. Yeah, and every time if will be this switch in position on top, this position start, our flaps will be down on minus 30%. But I want next switch only for these flaps in this flight mode. For example, this switch ailerons. Yes. But if I will use this position ailerons, this will be out of range my master switch and 3 position switch. This will be function every time if will be ailerons on. This switch ailerons on. But I want movement of flaps only if will be on my master switch, 3 position switch on position start, and ailerons on. I want 3 switches on this position. How we can to do? We will make second level or next level software switch. We will create software switch number 4, and software switch number 4 will be on if will be on software switch 1, yeah, software switch 1, and switch aileron. Yeah. Software switch 1. Software switch 1 is master switch and 3 position switch on this position, and ailerons is ailerons switch. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 positions under one software switch. Software switch 4. And this software switch we can set on our mix on channel 5. Not ailerons, but software switch 5. And you can see, oh, sorry, not software switch 5, but software switch 4, of course. Software switch 4. And you can see these flaps will be on if will be master switch on, 3 position switch on this position start, and ailerons is down. If I switch off any from these switches, flaps okay, If I switch off any from these switches, flaps is off. Okay, this mix is done. I can copy this mix on next flap on channel 6. And of course I want any reaction of elevator. I can duplicate this mix on channel 2 on my elevator. Of course, if again of course, if it will be minus 30% or 15% and 40%, this mean about my model configuration. Yes, this is only value for example. Yes, on your model will be probably value completely different. This is only for this lesson. And you can see both flaps are down with elevator reaction, and this is working only if these three switches are in right position. Okay, but I want something next. Okay, I have flaps on any position, but I want next possibility of position of flaps set position of flaps which I can set with this potentiometer. I must create similar mix. Again, on channel 5, this will start on channel 5, and we want control it by potentiometer number 1, this potentiometer. Okay, source is potentiometer number 1, white 100%, and switch again will be new advanced level software switch. Software switch 5. I can set here this software switch. I haven't this switch programmed. It's not important. I can set this switch and program it later. Okay, software switch 5, and software switch 5 will be on. Software switch 5 will be on if will be on switches. Software switch 1. This means master switch and free position switch in position start. And switch ruder, this switch. Yeah. And the switch 5 I have in this mix on channel 5. Yeah. Source potentiometer P1 by 100%, and switch is software switch 5, and software switch 5 will be on if will be on master switch, free position switch in position start, and this switch named ruder. I can check it. No reaction. Switch on. I can set position continuously with potentiometer. Maybe I want know where is central position of my potentiometer. We can go on screen 2 from 10 in model setup and go down on beep counting and select 1, 2, 3. This 3 numbers means potentiometer 1, 2 and 3, and this means it will be potentiometer in central position. You can hear a short beep. Yeah? Okay, this is our setting for start mode. I can set flaps with this movement, range of movement, or I can set flap with potentiometer. And of course I must copy this mix on next channel 6 on second flap, and I need any reaction of elevator. Copy this for elevator on channel 2. Yeah, both flaps going with elevator 2. Okay, this is start flight mode. In flight mode, fly, I want, for example, I want smaller move range of ailerons. For this I will create a help channel. Of course I can make it a different way, but I will select a little bit more complicated way, but on this way is good. We save number of channels for next using. I can set it same mixes with different range of movement of servos on ailerons, but we can use more sophisticated way with smaller number of mixes. We will create on channel 10. Channel 10 will be our help channel. Source will be max white 100. That's all. Channel 10 is on every time on max 100% range. Output from this mix we will use as input in channel 1 and channel 7 on our ailerons channels. We will create next mix in channel 1 where source will be channel 10, output from channel 10 is as input in channel 1, channel 10, and wait. If next important thing, multiplexing will be multiply. Yes. If we have a multiply mode on multiplex line, if we will have 100% range of movement ailerons will be same without change. If we will set 50 50%, movement will be 50% of range which we will have now. We will set, for example, 60%. And switch will be I must look on my notes. Switch will be software switch 2. Software switch 2 is on if free position switch is in position fly, and master switch is on. This is software switch 2. Yeah. And of course, important thing, multiplex line multiply. Yeah. And we copy this mix on second aileron on channel 7. And we can check it. I set free position switch in position start, full ailerons, and if I switch free position switch on position fly, you can see position of aileron is lower. Second ailerons still in same position because my mistake. I was deleted this new mix after moving, because in the newer version of Er9x is a new function. If I have a mix selected and if I press exit, mix is deleted. This is nice function but can be dangerous. Now is okay. You can see maximum range of ailerons is different. Yes, I have different range of movement on ailerons. In start is maximum, on flight mode fly is a little bit smaller. Okay, this is about help channel and use of this help channel. What next? I can create mix rudder on ailerons. In source is ailerons, like this, for example, I don't know, 25%, and will be on software switch number 2. Yes, because now we create mixes for flight mode flying. Yeah, this is mix when rudder is automatically added on aileron movement. Yes, because this is rudder controlled by stick, and you can see the rudder automatically is added on my aileron movement only in this flight mode flying. And next often used mix when automatically will be added flaps on elevator movement, but only on one side. Go on on flaps on channel 5, source will be elevator, white not 100 but only for example 20%, and switch again, software switch number 2. Software switch number 2 is on if our master switch is on and if free position switch is in middle position, in position fly. Yeah, you can see if I make movement with elevator, my flap is automatically a little bit go down, but you can see it works on both sides, but I want only on one side. On next side up I want it without a reaction. It's easy way how we can make it. We will use a curve x is smaller than 0. Yeah, this mix. We know this mix from previous lesson. This curve, we know it from differentiation on ailerons, for example. We know it. Yeah. If we know this curve, flaps reaction is only on one direction of elevator movement. Yeah. If I pull up in brakes, reaction on flaps is on. If on this movement, reaction is off. You can see my English language is a little bit small for all description of this function, but you can see how it works. And of course I must copy this mix on next channel with flaps. Now it works on both flaps. Only if is this free position switch in this position. It makes software switch 2. And I can add a next mix for small now I use for small changing of flaps during fly. Again, channel 5, our flap, one from our flaps, channel 5. We want to control this flap by this potentiometer. This is 1, 2, 3. Potentiometer number 3, P3. P3. White is only, for example, 20%. P3, 20%, and switch. We want to use this switch. This is switch elevator. Yeah, this is switch elevator. But only if this is switch elevator will be on and free position switch is in middle position and our master switch on. It means we need next software switch. It will be software switch number 6, and yes, we must make it creative. Software switch 6, and we will go on software switches, custom switches, software switches, and software switch 6 will be on if will be on software switch 2, software switch 2 and elevator switch. Software switch 6 is on if is on master switch, free position switch is in middle position, this is software switch 2, and if is on elevator switch. I can check it. You can see if I make a movement with this potentiometer P3, my flap is a little bit gently moving, I don't know. And of course I must copy this mix on next flap, on channel 6, and of course I want any reaction of elevator. I must copy this mix on elevator channel number 2. Okay, you can see you can see if I make a movement with potentiometer, my flaps and elevator are gently moving, but only if this switch is on. Without this switch, if this switch is off, no reaction. And of course only if this free position switch is in position flying, and of course if my master switch is on. Okay, and what about landing? On landing I want again any position of flaps, like brakes, for example max 50%, minus 50% with this reverse, minus 50%, and switch will be our new software switch 7, and again we must create this software switch 7. Go on software switches, and software switch 7 will be on only if will be on software switch 3. Remember, software switch 3 is on if is free position switch in lower landing position, and if is on master switch. If is master switch on and free position switch is in lower landing position, is on software switch 3. Software switch 3. And next switch is this switch aileron. Yeah. Software switch 7 is on if is on master switch, free position switch in lower position, and aileron is on. And you can see our flap is going down. And again, I can, or not I can, I must copy this mix on our next flap on channel 6. And again, probably I want any reaction of elevator. I copy this on elevator channel. Yeah, I can. I have a similar mix on start flight mode, but on landing I have a much bigger of movement of flaps and elevator. Of course, you must set range of elevator, especially for your model configuration. And again, I want set of flaps movement for landing continuously with potentiometer, for example with this potentiometer. Again, new mix on channel 5, our flap. Potentiometer number 2 will be source. Source will be potentiometer number 2, P2. White 100%. And switch again, new software switch number 8. And again, we must create this software switch. Software custom switch. Software switch 8 will be on if will be on software switch 3, master switch and preposition switch on lower side. Software switch 3 and this is switch gear. Yeah. Software switch 8 will be on if is on master switch, preposition switch is in lower position on position landing, and if is on this gear switch. And you can see if I switch on this gear switch, I can move with flap. And again, I must copy this mix on next flap on channel 6. And again, I want any reaction of elevator, and I will copy this mix on elevator channel number 2. And you can see how it works. In the next step, we can a little bit modify our mixes about flaps on start flight mode and on landing flight mode. We can set a slow parameter. For example, we will make it on this mixes for landing flight mode. This is mixes on channel 5 and 6 and elevator channel 2. This is this mix minus 50% max software switch 7. Go inside and we will set parameter slow down, for example 1, slow up 1. Same on channel 6 on the same mix, minus 50% max software switch 7, go inside and slow down 1, slow up 1, and on elevator channel 2, this mix with software switch 7 parameter, we can set slow up, for example 2, slower, and slow up 2, and you can see movement is slower. Yeah, we have done how it works. On, of course, every time I must have a switch on our master switch. Yes, if is my master switch on, flight mode start. 3 position switch is on first position, flight mode start. I can set flaps with elevator in any position on this range of movement, or I can set range of movement with this potentiometer. If I will set this switch on, I can set with potentiometer any custom movement. In fly position, fly, this not works. Yes, this is without direction, but I can set gently movement of flaps with elevator action, and I have mix rudder on ailerons, and I have mix elevator flaps to elevator in one direction, and of course I have a smaller range of ailerons movement. On flight mode landing, I have again any range movement of flaps with slow parameter with direction of elevator, or I can set these flaps continuously by potentiometer. Yes. And anytime if I switch off my master switch, all mixes are off, and I have a clean 4 channels model. Okay, I hope it can help you, and see you later in our next lesson 05. It will be again 4 channel wing, but flaps will be works not only as flaps but as ailerons too.